Vintage Crochet, and welcome to another mystery pattern. You're going to see some numbers we just worked. That's because we are keeping this bowl full. We're filling it up. Justin is filling it up whenever I empty it. So I worked 4 patterns. He just added 4 new patterns. So everything in this pile is well over 100 years old, and the vast majority of everything in this pile is almost 200 years old. So what we do here, if you're new, I have a pile of patterns here that were picked out, not by me, but by my son. So I don't know what the patterns are. We have no context, so no pictures, no titles. He has the titles. These patterns didn't come with pictures. Most of them didn't. Some of them did. We won't know what it is until we're done. And anything that could give away what the pattern is has been blacked out. So we won't know what it is until we're done. It's a true mystery. And they're very, very old patterns. And as I've been saying in all of these videos, anything you know about modern US stitch terms or even modern UK stitch terms to some degree, throw that out the window. The majority of these patterns, these old ones anyways, from the 1840s, you're not going to recognize the stitch terms. You're not going to recognize the stitch terms. So whenever it calls for a treble and you see me working a double, that is because in the UK, even still to this day, a treble crochet is what we call a double crochet in the US. But you're also going to see me working a single crochet when it calls for a plain, a slip stitch whenever it calls for a shepherd stitch. So the majority of the stitches you know today just... And this is a whole new world here. We're going back in time and to a totally different world if you're here in the US. All right, let's just pick our pattern and get on with it, huh? Justin added some new patterns, by the way, from a different book, 1883. So here we go. Number 16. Okay, that's not going to be a recycled number. It's 4. What do we got here? 5, 7, 12. I guess I could do this with a little more tact. There's 16. Okay, so one of our 1846 patterns. Okay, so just really quick, throughout this video, I'm going to talk about how I feel like I've worked this pattern before. After combing through all of my mystery patterns, at least the ones relevant to the 1840s/1850s, I have actually never worked this pattern. So this is a new, unworked pattern for this channel. It will not be one that we can review and compare. And these usually typically they call for a thread. So boar's head cotton number 16, I don't have a clue what that is. I just default to a number 10 crochet cotton thread. It's probably going to be too big for whatever this is, but that's fine. We just want to see the pattern played out. Or Berlin wool. Okay, so no. We may need actually a little bit of a thicker wool. Let's look at this. In plain, open, and treble crochet. Open is going to be what we know today as filet crochet, more toward the mid-century of the 1800s, and the later part of the 1800s it was called square crochet, but they also continued to call it open crochet. So this is a correction made whenever I picked this book up. These corrections were already included. I don't know who made these corrections. So here we go. Make a chain of 8 stitches and join it. So we're working in the round. I just want to see if we really need a thicker yarn here. So I'm not getting any hints as to what it might be. Berlin wool is going to be just a moment. So a Berlin wool is going to be basically a number 3. I mean, they're calling for a wool. I'm going to use a crochet cotton, but basically a size 3. This one calls for a 3.5 millimeter hook, so that's the hook I'm going to use. And if you ever want to use these old Victorian era antique patterns, I actually sell a stitch term hook and thread yarn reference guide. It's everything that you need to help you figure out all these conversions, old stitch terms, old thread sizes. I mean, there's a lot here. I even include some free patterns, and there you go, more crochet hook size conversions. The bell That's for knitting, but you can also use it for crochet, Tunisian crochet. And then you've got some old patterns I include so that you can put all of this to the test. You know, it's a teaching guide. So there's going to be a link. There's always a link for that down below in the description box. So I'm going to use, where's the hook? 3.75. I'm going to use a 3.5 millimeter hook and this size 3 crochet cotton. Like a double Berlin is, it would be like a sports weight, or what we would call a sport weight or a DK weight. It's just ever so slightly thicker because it would be like putting two of these together. All right, so this wants us to start with a chain of 8 stitches and then join it. Five, 6, 7, 8. Join it. Okay, this yarn, this thread is going to give me a hard time. It loves to curl up on itself. That's all right. I had others in this size, but they were just a little too dark for camera. So I got to deal with it. See what I mean? This loves to twist on itself. It's going to be a pain in the butt. Okay. First round, 1 double crochet and 3 chains in every stitch. 1 double crochet and 3 chains in every stitch. So I guess we will start with 3 chains and then 3 chains in every stitch. So I'm going to cheat just a little bit. I personally am not a fan of working into chain stitches on the ring. It's just very sloppy and messy looking. So I am going to work around the ring. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. So clearly I'm going to need 8 loops. So 1, 2. I already messed up. Supposed to be working double crochets. There we go. So that's chain 3. One. There we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this yarn, this thread. All it wants to do is kink up on itself. Look at that. Look at how it just does it without even trying. And then it gets right here, it balls up and it gets right there on me. Oof. This is a pain in the butt, this stuff. I mean, I may have to use something slightly smaller. Just because, look at this. It's just wanting to knot up, no matter what. Look at that. Without even trying. Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm going to use this instead. I believe it's just a tiny bit thinner, even though it does call for a thicker hook. It calls for a 4 millimeter. I'm just going to stick with the 3.5. This one here is a fan favorite on the channel. So, and a lot of you looked this up. It is still available. So let me start this over again with a better thread. Here we go. It's not as stiff as the other cotton. In fact, this is acrylic. It's microfiber acrylic, but it's a lot easier to work with. Okay, so I went ahead and worked the 8 double crochet with 8 chain 3s separating, and we have 8 chain spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I joined into the top of my starting stitch. Here we go. Second round, 3 double crochet, chain 3, miss 1. That's the repeat. Okay, 3 double crochet, chain 3, miss 1. Wonder if they want us to work that into the chain spaces. So I think what I'll do is slip stitch over to the chain spaces, because I wonder if the miss one is the double crochet. They want us to miss that, or do they, well, chain 3, miss 1. Yeah, maybe. Let's go. Chain 3, miss 1, so I'm going to miss this double crochet here. I think this is what they mean. 1, 2, 3, chain 3, miss 1, work 3. 1. Do you think this is what they mean, or do you think they mean the actual chain stitches? That would be too much, wouldn't it? Because you'd have like 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3. That's a lot. It would be rippled. And the unfortunate thing is we don't have any pictures with these patterns from this book from 1846. So there's no visual confirmation. I suppose the confirmation comes in whether or not the pattern works out right. It matches what it says to do. The stitch counts seem right. I don't know. I don't know if what I'm doing is correct at all. I think that's right. I don't know. Third round, 5 treble, 3 chain, miss 1. Do you think? 5 treble, 3 chain, miss 1. Slip stitch my way over. These patterns are highly assumption based. 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 chain again, yeah. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, there's that bit. We're starting to change color here too. I love this thread so much. Okay, 4th round, 7 treble, 3 chain, miss. 5th round, 9 treble, 3 chain, miss. So I'm going to work 4th and 5th off camera since they're the same, just increasing the number of the double crochets, and I'll be back for the 6th round. So I'm going to slip stitch over every time to the next available chain space. Okay, so I will be right back. Okay, so I'm ready for round 6. Here's how everything looks. Round 6 threw me for a little bit of a loop, but I figured up that the repeat, they start you off with the repeat. But that's not how you're supposed to start. Like the wording starts off with the repeat that we're going to work the majority of this in. I say the majority because we're not going to start it exactly the way it's worded. We're just going to skip 1 instead of skip 2. We have to. So I'm already in the first stitch where I slip stitched. So I'm going to slip stitch over to the second stitch. That skips the first stitch I slip stitched into. Now in the second stitch, I'm going to chain 3 for my first double and work 6 more for a total of 7. Here's how it's worded. Miss 2, 7 double crochet. Of course, I'm translating this into modern US terms. 7 double crochet, 2 chain, miss 2, 1 double crochet, 2 chain, miss 2, 7 double crochet. So we actually need to omit the first and last stitch of each shell. Of course, it's not laid out that way in the words, but that's the way it's going to play out, and I'll show you. So slip stitching over to the second double crochet means we have omitted the first stitch. Now I've worked my first double crochet, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, I really should be working in the back loops. They always worked in the back loop unless it was directed to work into the full top stitch. So forgive me. Let me get those back loops. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chain 2, skip 2. So we're going to skip the last stitch, skip the first chain, and then in the middle chain, and I'm just going to work around the chain. That's where you work the 1 treble, air quotes, treble, double crochet. So 2 chain, miss 2, 1 double, 2 chain, miss 2, 7 double. So 2 chain, miss 2, that would be the chain and the first double crochet. And then I'm going to work in the back loop. There we go. And we're creating a little bit of texture by working in the back loop. They did always work in the back loop. I wonder if I shouldn't just behave and work into that chain. I think I need to. I do. There we go. Okay, enough rule breaking. Here we go. Of course, the back loop, you can work through 2 back loops if you want a little more structure to your stitch, a little more anchoring down. You just go through the back loop, and then there's another back loop back here. And that still creates that texture. See there? Okay, so I'm going to work this all around. Here we go. One more time, I'll do this part here. Chain 2, skip 2, which is 1, 2, and then into the chain, work another double crochet. Chain 2, skip 2, 1, 2, and then start working my 7 double crochet. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, that is round 6 done. I already looked at round 7 and it looks a lot like round 6, a little bit different. So we're going to miss 2, but we're going to start this exactly the way I started it before. So I'm going to slip stitch over 1 and work 5 double crochets. So once again, omitting the first and last stitch, 3 chains, miss 2, 3 double crochet, 3 chains, miss 2, 5 double crochet. So here's what I think is going to happen here. So I am going to slip stitch over 1. And I think this time I'm just going to work a stacked single just because I really do prefer it over a chain. And so that is 1 of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That omits the last stitch. Chain 3, and into this first, or into the second chain over, work 1 double, 1 into the double, 1 into the next chain over, chain 3, skip 2, so that's skip this chain, skip this stitch, and work 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. I sure hope I'm doing this right, but that's what I think we're doing now. I don't know. I think I've worked this pattern before. I think that there's a video for this that exists. I think it's definitely one of the first patterns I ever worked. I'm going to find it whenever I'm done making this video. I'm going to look and I'll link this video down below if it's one that I already worked on this channel before. So you'll see the difference. I might be doing it wrong this time and did it right the first time. I don't know. I don't know. So here we go. Wouldn't that be interesting though, to tag the same pattern 2 years ago to today and see if I interpret it differently. The same pattern, the same person, totally different interpretation of it, perhaps, unless I'm nailing it. I don't know. I'll be right back. Okay, so I was looking at, this is row 7 done. Well, I guess you want to see the whole thing, don't you? Okay, so round 8, miss 3, 3 double crochet, chain 3, miss 3, 5 double crochet, chain 3, miss 3, 3 double crochet. I'm going to start this off the same way though, just by skipping 1. So skipping 1, which is the stitch I slip stitched into, and I'll do the chain 3 again because I feel like the stacked single brings it over a little too far and it isn't creating an incline. I think it's meant to be creating like a leaf. So the chain 3 would be better for that. And just working, you know what? I suppose I could do that into the back loop. There we go. Slip stitch into the back loop. Keep a little continuity there. And I just need 3 stitches here. Well, that little bugger back there don't want to be worked into. It doesn't have a choice. Oh no. Just kidding. There you go. Oof, that's ugly. And now it looks better. Okay, chain 3, skip 3, 1, 2, 3. Bizarro, hang on. Chain 3, miss 3, 5, double. Oh, it's not bizarro at all. 1, 2, 3. Now we work 5 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's not bizarro. I'm bizarro. There we go. 1. Almost worked into the wrong stitch. Almost skipped a whole stitch. 2. 3. 4, then into the chain, makes 5. Chain 3, skip 3, so 1, 2, 3, and work 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we're making something here. I'll be right back. Here we go. I really like the way this is turning out. I don't recognize what this is looking like, but I recognize this pattern, the way it's worded. I think I'm making it right this time compared to the first time I made it, if I did make it before, but I feel like I recognize this pattern, but I don't believe it looked like this. Maybe it did. I don't know. Again, I'm going to look whenever I'm done making this video, but I'm feeling really proud of myself on this one. I was nervous about having to skip over and not follow the instructions exactly as laid out, but it's working out. They look like little pine cones, don't they? Even though it's not like a pineapple pattern. I like it. Okay, 9th round. Let me get my little sticker here. And well, that's just going to have to stick up. Okay. Miss 1, 1 treble. See, the thing is having to decipher this. Now we're really changing it up. Oh, miss 1, 1 treble. Okay. Miss 1, 1 double crochet, 2 chain, miss 1, 1 double, 2 chain, miss 1, 1 double, 2 chain, miss 1, 7 double, 2 chain. Wow. Really? Okay, we have a lot more to do. All right, so I'm going to slip over and essentially close this little point off by working one double. See, this is like part follow the instructions and part look at what it looks like. Okay, so that's one double. This one. 2 chain, miss 1. 2 chain, miss 1, 1 double. So 2 chain, miss 1, 1 double. I don't want to get lost as to where I am. I don't think 2 chain, miss 1, 1 double, or do I want to? Now here is where my confidence is going to go down. Then 2 chain, miss 1. No, because here's where I need to work 7. So this isn't going to be right. Although I wonder, yes, 2 chain, and do I need to? Yeah, here's where my confidence is going to crash. Because I know for sure, just based on how it looks, I need to work 7 across here. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. What do I do in the meantime? Because starting off this pattern is where I'm going to get tripped up. The repeat will be fine throughout to work out, but it's the start that's the trip up. 2 chain, miss 1, 1 treble. See, this is all the repeat. It's not telling you how to start. So I wonder, do I just jump right over? Let's see, 1, 2, 3. What would that do? 1, 2, 3. Would that put too much stress on it? Let's give that a try. Let's start at the 7. Let's start at the 7. So that's 2. I'll be right back. I don't want to bore you with me fiddling with these stitches. I'll be right back. I don't think this is correct. I'm going to have to come back and do this. This is just a practice run. So if we're starting here, then 2 chains. We're just ignoring that any of this even happened. We're just ignoring this, and we're basically just starting here. So 7, 2 chain, miss 1, 1 treble, okay, then 2 chain, miss 1, 1 treble, then 2 chain, miss 1, 1 treble again, okay, and then 2 chain, miss 1, 7. So miss 1 would be missing the center chain, working 7 across. So, okay, that makes more sense. So now I know what to do over here. So I start with my 5 chain, which is a double crochet plus chain 2. Miss 1, 1 treble. Double crochet, forgive me. I sure hope I'm not confusing my US audience. Or my audience that's from other countries but follow US stitch terms. Okay, chain 2, miss 1, now work my 7. And I'll do that off camera real quick. Okay, worked the 7, chain 2, skip the middle chain and work a treble into this next chain, chain 2, skip the first double, work a double into the middle, chain 2, skip the next double, and then into the first chain, chain 2, skip the middle chain, which kind of gnarled up there, and then start working my 7. Okay, so that's going to be the repeat. Hopefully you can see that. There we go. That's going to be the repeat there. And I'm just going to go ahead and work that all around, and I will be right back. I'll hold that up so you can see. Okay, so I will be right back. Round 10 is going to be another one I'm going to have to figure out. I think it's safe to say starting with the 7 helped me figure out this one. So I'm going to start with the 5. And I think we're reducing this down to 5, maybe 5 double crochets. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 chain, miss 2. So 1, 2, 3 treble, 1, 2, 3, 2 chain, miss 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 treble, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that tells me that when we work next to a 5, 5, miss 2, 1, 2. So when we work after 5, we're going to work 3 in a row. Then we're going to skip this one, work 3 in a row, then 5, 3 in a row, skip, 3 in a row, which means this one needs to be skipped, right? Do I have that right? Well, okay, let me just do this to start off with. This will really help me figure it out. I'm going to slip my way. This is just for research reasons. I'm going to slip my way all the way over here, and I'm not going to worry about back loops right now because I just want to see it laid out. Okay, so I'm going to ignore all of this for now, and let's start with the 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need to slip over one more. This is just so I can see what the repeat is supposed to look like. 2, 3, 4, 5, then chain 2, miss 2, miss, miss, and right here work 3, because it says you have your 5, chain 2, miss 2, work 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Now, starting from up here, we have chain 2, miss 3, 3 treble. Chain 2, miss 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 treble. And then chain 2, right? Yes. Chain 2, miss 3 again. So that's chain, stitch, stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that puts me over. Chain 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh, chain 2, miss 2. Forgive me. Chain 2, 1, 2. Okay, miss 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so this is how, ignoring this right here, this is how it's supposed to be looking. So we have 3, skip 3. So that means I do need to skip this one. So starting fresh, I need to skip this stitch and skip the first chain. So I'm going to slip into the first chain and then slip into the next chain over, but that's where I'm going to work my first double. 2, 3 into that chain, and then tell you what, it's so much easier not having to work into the back loops. I suppose I didn't have to make that choice, but you're supposed to work into the back loops with these old patterns. It does create a very unique texture too. Okay. And then that was chain 2, miss 2. It doesn't look like much of a stitch, but that's a stitch. That's a chain stitch right there. So 1, 2, and then start working my 5 doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 2, miss 2, 1, 2. So basically, we work 3 in a row immediately following our 5 in a row, and the only time we skip 3 is right here in the center double crochet, meaning you have 1, 2, 3 double crochet. We're always going to skip that center one. Okay. One, 2, 3, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and work 3 in a row again. I may be working back loops this time. That doesn't always mean I'm going to be in the mood for it. Sometimes I may pick up one of these old patterns and go, you know, I'm just not in the mood to do the back loops, if that's okay with you guys. So be prepared for me to not always follow the rules here. Like I said, we don't take these too seriously. This is just for fun and to see these patterns come alive. Okay, and then I work my 5 in a row. All right, so I'm going to finish the rest of this off camera so you don't have to watch me struggle with these back loops here. Because I'm not working just the back loop. I'm working the back loop and the back, like 2 back legs, you know. Okay, it's really turning into something. I was just looking at round 11. And so here's how I think round 11 is going to play out. So we have 5 double crochet. Here's how it looks. 5 double, 2 chain, 5 double, 2 chain, miss 2, 3 double, 2 chain, miss 2, and then back up to 5 double again. So I think we have 5 double, 2 chain, 5 double, 2 chain, 3 double, 2 chain, 5, 5, 3. So that means I need to start this by not slip stitching this time. Start with a chain 3. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And whenever I go to close this off, I'll work 1 right here to make 5. Yeah, I hate that gap. So I'm actually going to do a stacked single here. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain 2, work 3 over the 5. So omitting the first and last stitches. 2 and 3. Chain 2. Now I'm going to work 5 and 5, both with chain 2 separating. So 1, almost skipped a stitch again. 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I realize this means I'm only skipping 1, but I don't know what else it could mean. I only have 1 chain to skip, even though it says to skip 2. I'm just going to disregard that because I believe this is the correct way to work this out. Now here I can skip 2, 1, 2, and work my 3. 1. Sometimes I just don't fight the pattern and go with what my gut tells me works. My gut's telling me that this is what works. So that's what I'm going to do. So, and then whenever I end, I'm going to work 1 double crochet in this last little chain stitch here and then just join to the top of this stacked single. See how much better that looks without it being a chain. Sometimes a chain is appropriate, like here, and sometimes it's just not. Okay. I'll be right back. I'm going to finish this off camera, and then we have 1 round left to go. Okay, there is round 11. Round 12, the last round, we're going to have 7 and 7. I'm going to ignore where it says to skip. I'm just going to skip where I know it makes sense. So moving on from this section here, let's start right here. 7 and 7. And then we're going to have 1 to close out this like diamond. And then 7 and 7. Now, after we work the 1, we're going to chain 3, it says. So we'll be chaining 3 only after we work the 1, not before. I might not even do the chain 3. I might just keep with chain 2. I'll figure that out as I go. But again, I'm not going to slip over any stitches. I'm just going to work another, and here I closed this off by working 1 double crochet into the last chain and then joining into the top of my stacked single. And I feel like that closed that off really nice. It looks really good. No chain gaps. So I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to start with a stacked single. That counts as 1. Come on, you. Okay. That's 2, 3. These first ones are usually pretty tricky, and then it gets easier. That's 4, and then 1 into the chain is 5. But we need 7. Oh, 6 and 7. So I will work, whenever I come back around, I'll work 2 double crochet and then join into the top of my stacked single there, just like that. Chain 2 and just work 1. Now it wants us to chain 3 after we work the 1. Let's see if that keeps it from buckling. Maybe they did that to keep the edge from buckling in. So that's 1. You know, to keep the edge from curling up. We'll see. It's a little off center. Okay, that's 7. Chain 2. And essentially skip nothing. And work 7 again. So I essentially skipped nothing. I skipped nothing. I'm going to keep the chain 3 for now because maybe it is a bigger help than I think. But I'll be back. I'm going to work this a couple of times and I'll come back and show you. And I might undo my work and get rid of the chain 3 because it's just, you know, you can see it. Okay. Okay. So I worked this one with 3. The rest of them, I just worked with 2 chains, 2, 2. It's fine. It's not buckling or curling. It's got lots of give. So I'm just going to work 2. Can I live with that one? Can I live with that one so I don't have to go back and redo it? Yeah, I'm going to live with this 1 chain 3. I'm just going to finish this out with 2, and then that'll be it. That's the last round. Then we will unmask this dastardly vandal. No, it's not a dastardly vandal, but then I will have Justin go get the, let's see, what am I doing here? 7. I will have Justin go get the title of this because these patterns don't come with pictures, but I think we got it. I think I got it. Okay, I'll be right back. I know this is a little silly. Here is the finished piece. I wanted to see what this would look like if it was all stitched together to make like a bed cover. And then perhaps if you've got the know-how to just crochet things without a pattern, you could figure out the stitch count and make a little like spider diamond or some kind of a little diamond, or even just a solid square in the center portions, or leave them blank. But this is what it would look like if it were actually turned into a blanket. You just keep making them. And of course, that's with this fine thread, double the size, triple, quadruple the size of each tile, and you can have a blanket made a lot faster. It's a really easy pattern, but I just printed these out and wanted to give you a visual without me having to make 4 of these, because I am eager to move on to the next pattern. But here is how this is looking. Let me zoom you in. There we go. That's how it's looking. It looks great. I would say if you want to make this, don't worry about the chain 3 here. You don't really need it. I just did only 1 chain 3, which is right here, and boy, you surely can see it. I would just go with chain 2s all around. It doesn't curl or buckle at all. It lays quite flat with very little effort. This is not blocked. And of course, this is acrylic, so the best way to block this, you could tack each tile down and just take your blow dryer and put a little heat on it and let it cool in the position it's pinned. And then, because plastic retains its shape once it's been heated, you shape it, you cool it, it stays that shape. And it's the same with acrylic, and that's what this is. So there we go. You guys let me know what you think. I am ready to wrap this video up and pick another pattern like right now. Oh, and there you go. It is a dymere pattern. That doesn't mean diamond. I did Google this. It's for this part right here, checkerboard. This means checkerboard. So did I get this wrong? Did I get it right? I think I got it right. I think I got it right. Maybe they call it checkerboard for this little part right here, because 100% those instructions did allow us to create these little diamonds and these little like pine cone looking stitches here. Okay, guys, that's it for this one, 1846 pattern. On to the next one. Love you lots, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.